This week on The Traitors.
I truly am just at a loss right now of what I have done. How many people here could say they trust Danielle 100%? Your name got brought up because
Yo, what is up,
people have
everybody?
asked
Welcome back
what was
to. We're going
going
to be
on.
talking about The Traitors, Season 3, Episode 9. Let's get right into this. Okay, so the episode begins with Danielle and Carolyn meeting up, and tonight they're going to need to come up with a decision. Either they are going to decide and kill someone as they usually do every night, or they have the opportunity to recruit one of the faithfuls to become a traitor. Danielle really wants to recruit Britney, and her justification for this is that if Britney were to be a traitor and she were to be vanished, people's suspicion against them two would be less because they would all be happy that they already got a traitor out, which, not gonna lie to you, it's a good point. Unfortunately, Carolyn says no, like she doesn't trust Danielle. She says, why would I allow you to make like your best friend a traitor? You're really expecting me to believe that you're gonna let her be vanished? No, you're gonna wanna stick with her and get rid of me. Danielle says, okay, I'll make a sacrifice for you. I'll let you decide who. We just won't recruit anyone. Now let's decide who to kill. Like, who are we going to murder? Dylan is an option that's thrown out because maybe people would assume Gabby did it because he's been having suspicions on Gabby, but they say no. Sam, maybe Dolores, because they would never bet. She would never. No, they say Dolores, but then they say never mind because she would never banish us anyway. But they end up deciding. We don't know fully yet what the decision was made, but they did decide to murder someone. Okay, so it's the next morning. Carolyn and Gabby are the first ones there. By the way, Gabby thinks Danielle is suspicious because of the all these tears that are always coming and her dumb excuses. Like the other night, she said she's not a traitor because the people that have been killed are her friends. That's not a real good excuse because this is the traitors. So Brittany and Tom are next. I'm actually really happy to see Tom, not gonna lie. I think he makes the show pretty entertaining. They are then joined by Ivar and Danielle. Then the last ones to arrive are Dolores. And finally, Dylan, meaning Sam was killed. Danielle thought that people wouldn't suspect them of, you know, of Sam's murder. Sam, we see him get his death card, and he says that he had a lot of fun. He was very quiet. He began very quiet. He didn't really say much, but he was beginning to really find his voice. Alan comes in and says that in the mission they're going to need they need to avoid rookie mistakes and learn who the traitor is. The mission itself will give them some clues. So they have some time to talk before the mission. Tom is still with this dumb idea that Dolores is a traitor because she has no fear. Gabby thinks that the traitors are going to start turning on themselves. She says, let's be on the lookout for some drama, and she's right. So Danielle is turning on Carolyn. She's making people think that Carolyn is a traitor, but she's doing it in a very smart way by not saying her name directly, kind of just giving some characteristics that Carolyn possesses. Dylan has always thought Gabby is a traitor, but he has not died yet, so maybe it isn't her. So he decides to team up with Gabby, and they're kind of talking about Danielle. She might be it. Dylan says this to Carolyn as well, which she does like. She wants Dylan to take charge of this takedown against Danielle. Brittany is somewhere in tears, saying to Danielle, oh, Danielle, if you were banished, I would die. I can't do it without you. And then Danielle is crying too because she feels like she's betraying Brittany. So now Brittany wants to take out Carolyn, and Danielle is going to join her because she wants to get to the finish line alongside Britney. Now, I am so confused. I don't watch whatever show they're from, but when this season began, didn't Danielle say she had some issues with Britney, that she was betrayed? I don't know. But this goes to prove that Carolyn's instinct was right last night. It was a good thing that they didn't get Britney as a traitor, because clearly, Danielle is all for Britney. So then it is time for the mission. They arrive to a huge chessboard with everybody's name on it. So this game was actually orchestrated by the traitors the night before. They were given a series of questions of who is most likely to be blank. And the traitors, Carolyn and Danielle, decided on an answer. So the answers have already been chosen. Now, here in the mission, these questions are going to be repeated again, but everybody needs to come together and come up with an answer. If their answer happens to be the same one that the traitors chose, they get $5,000. And there is a total of $20,000 available. So then they bring some special guest, none other than Parvati and Kate. Don't do the housewife thing, honey. Don't do it, Parvati. I just, you know what? They should have brought Phaedra as a special guest. I would have loved it. Okay, so they came in. They had a little bit of an entrance. They didn't really do much. They were kind of just in the background giving commentary. It was a little funny. So the first one that they get going with is that they bring out a huge chess piece with a snake on it. And the question is, who is slithering through this game under the radar? Now, last night, the traitors chose Britney, and they, as a group, also chose Britney. The way they were able to find out if their choice was correct was so cool. There was this huge, like, chess piece statue thing that was in the shape of a traitor wearing the hood, and it was like a mechanical one, because it would move across the chessboard and it would go onto the correct name. I just thought that was super cool the way they did that. So yes, that one was Britney. They got it correct, $5,000. So the second one is then a school chess piece, and the question is, who is the biggest threat? The traitors chose Britney. Now, Carolyn was a little dumb last night, because why would she agree for Britney to be the answer? Again, like, she was already chosen for the first one. So yeah, that wasn't smart of her. Danielle definitely like one upped her on that. So they're discussing amongst themselves who they think is the correct answer. Tom thinks it's him. Poor guy's like, I think it's me. They are wrong, because they did choose Tom, and obviously it wasn't. It was Britney, which surprised everybody, including Britney. So then the third one is a wolf, and it says, who is the leader of the pack? The traitors actually chose Tom, and Tom again is saying, I think it's me. But because they had already chosen Tom for the second answer and they got it wrong, they think maybe they should pick Dylan. Now, this is where Carolyn messes up a little. She too suggests that it should be Tom, but everyone else agreed with Dylan except Tom and Carolyn. So they chose Dylan. Obviously, they got it wrong. And they discussed it a little bit, and Dolores made a comment saying, "Oh, Carolyn, you really thought it was Tom?" And Carolyn says, "No, I didn't. I didn't." She got so defensive, which was definitely not helping her case, because now, for example, Dylan is thinking, okay, it makes sense why Tom would choose himself. Like, that's just who he is. Why would Carolyn think it's Tom, though? Does she know? Is she a traitor? So, yeah. So, the fourth and final one is a mouse, and it says, whose voice is the most irrelevant? The traitors chose Carolyn, which again is not helping Carolyn, because as they're trying to discuss who is the correct answer, Carolyn is trying to convince them all that she is the one with the quietest voice and she's irrelevant. Now, what she really wants is for them to get the money. And they did, because they ended up choosing her, and the answer was correct. But again, all the way she acted in this challenge is now making Dylan think that Carolyn is a traitor. She may have told on herself. Danielle is happy though because some of the answers took some suspicion off of her and from Britney, and they gave more suspicion to Carolyn. So then they go back to the castle. They're having dinner and they're also talking. Carolyn is paranoid. She tries to set Danielle up, but it's hard. Ivar thinks it might be Danielle. Tom is lost. Then Carolyn talks to Dylan. She says that she is freaking out. And then Dylan says to her, "It's going to be very hard for me tonight when it's between you and Carolyn." And Carolyn says, "Me? Like, what are you talking about?" She then tries to convince him that it isn't her. She even cries a little. Then Ivar doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut, and he tells Danielle that Carolyn is throwing her name out there. So Danielle is like, "Oh, okay. Like, I'm going full force on her tonight at the round table." So then it is time for the round table. There's very few people left. The tension is very strong. Danielle and Carolyn are like loathing each other, and then Ivar starts. He says that he thinks that the two remaining traitors have to be women. Gabby and Dylan say, "Okay, but like we need to not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's remember that earlier today, Alan said that there's going to be something incorporated that would change how this game goes tomorrow." So then Danielle goes ahead and says to, Carolyn goes ahead and says to Danielle, "Danielle, as a faithful, why would you have the need to lie? Why did you lie about me saying that I put Britney's name out there when I didn't?" So again, Danielle's going all in. So she says, "You did say her name. You did. You act dumb. It's all an act. So many different things that you did in the game today are telling me that it's you. You try and throw people off. You're very aggressive. You have attacked me on this round table. I haven't mentioned your name because honestly, I'm afraid that you're going to kill me." And Carolyn says, I'm at a loss for words. And they keep interrupting each other. Carolyn says, "I've connected with a lot of people here." And then Danielle says, "Yeah, because you're a silent assassin." Tom says, "Well, no, Carolyn helped me take off Boston Rob." Carolyn cries and she says that Danielle hurt her, but then it is time to vote. So Carolyn votes for Danielle. Ivar votes for Carolyn. Dolores votes for Tom. What a waste of vote. Oh my gosh. Danielle votes for Carolyn. Gabby votes for Danielle. Tom votes for Dolores. Another dumb, wasted freaking vote. Britney votes for Carolyn. And it's all down to Dylan. He votes for Carolyn. Damn. Oh, she received the most votes. She has to get up there and she kind of gives a little speech. Everyone's kind of like waiting for her to reveal, and she finally says, "It is so hard being a traitor." So she's gone. And you guys, when they know who the traitor is, they're all happy, they're all cheering. Y'all want to know what Danielle did? She got in the damn corner on the floor, crying and shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, you are just digging yourself in a bigger hole. But they're all happy. They got a traitor out. But not so fast. Gabby says to some people after the round table that tonight was giving Bob versus Rob. It was giving traitor on traitor. So then to finish the episode up, Danielle is going by herself to the chariot. Alan joins in, and she will have yet again another opportunity to recruit a faithful, but this is going to be an ultimatum recruitment. They're going to be seeing her face to face, whoever she chooses, and she will ask them, "Are you going to join me as a traitor, or are you going to die tonight?" So we see Britney get the card, and she thinks she's getting killed, but then she sees that it says, "Meet me at the dungeon," or whatever it is, and she goes down there, and that's where the episode ends. Now, there have been some spoilers, and we know that Britney is going to join the traitors. She's gonna be a traitor, I should say. So you guys, I am really surprised. I thought Danielle would be vanished before Carolyn. I'm gonna be honest, I felt bad for Carolyn. I thought she was so silly and goofy, and I actually was rooting for her. I would have loved for Danielle and for her to go to the end after they took down Boston Raw, but I feel like that trust was broken, and Carolyn just couldn't take the she couldn't take the risk of trusting Danielle. I think that's totally understandable, but I still think, I mean, I can't wait for next week. The show's almost over, you guys. I can't wait to see what happens. I have a feeling though that I don't think Danielle's gonna take it because let's be very clear. They might have taken Carolyn out, but that doesn't take away all the suspicion people have had on Danielle. So y'all let me know your guesses. We could be totally wrong, but are y'all thinking that the faithfuls are gonna win the money? Or will it be a traitor? What do y'all think? I honestly think the faithfuls are going to win this year. I don't think Danielle has enough credibility to still remain, but we're going to have to wait and see. Great episode. Again, very surprised by Carolyn. I thought she was going to, you know, be very uh, undetectable, but she wasn't. So you guys, let me know what your thoughts were about this episode. What did you think? What do you think is going to happen? Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.